Hi everyone, I'm Glamorously Gray Life and I'm back with another video. I hope everyone out there is living their best life. Today's topic, I wanted to talk about color. And you know, as we get older, certain things start to change, like our complexion and our hair color. But what about the clothing that you wear and the makeup that you use? What do we do about that? Because let me tell you something. As I got older, I noticed that certain things that I used to like are not the same anymore. And it's not to say that it's a bad thing, it's just different. So let's talk about it. Well, here we go. We're going to talk about color, and I'm going to talk about it in regards to your clothing. This is such a huge topic that I think I need to break it down into a couple sections. Okay, so let's talk about color. You know, as we get older, we are going to change. Our complexions change, our hair colors change, even our body changes. I'm not happy about that last part. But anyway, we just have to adapt. We don't have to, go nuts about it, even though we do. Let's just be honest. But there are certain colors that you are going to love on your complexion, and there are certain colors that you're going to hate. And I think that's the case even when you were younger. There's certain colors you gravitated to, and then there's certain colors you avoided like the plague. But as you get older, you might find yourself loving the colors you didn't like before. I will say that red was not a color I liked in the past. I, for some reason, did not like the color. But as I am approaching my, middle age and the hair is getting grayer and, things of that nature, I find myself gravitating to red. I was never afraid of coral, but it does give me a healthy glow to my skin. And sometimes you have to look at those colors and see what works with you and your hair. Like some clothes that I have work with my complexion, but then when I put it against my hair, the contrast is so off that I just get, I'm not interested in wearing colors that make me look off and sick. So this is where we have to discuss what works best for you as far as colors. Now there's a YouTuber called Trini. She has a channel. She's great. I learned a lot about colors and even mixing and clashing patterns through her. She also talks about body shapes as well. But she definitely explains, how certain colors can work with your complexion and, taking into account your hair color. The Style and Beauty Doctor is also another YouTuber that dips into that topic as well. I think you have to take a moment to experiment through your closet when you get the chance. I mean, who has time, right? But it's very important to get to see what are the things that you're gravitating to. And even if you gravitate to it, when you put it on, does it even look right? So listen, not only should you try on the clothing, but you should also, this is good, especially if you're in a store, test it out in different lighting, take a picture if you can to see if you really like it. I've noticed that sometimes things look good online, or when you get it home, you might think it looks great, but when you put it out in the world, like in a bright light, and you take a picture, you're like, oh my God, what the hell am I wearing? But that's why you have to get comfortable with knowing what colors work with you, as long as what fits work for your body. I mean, it's all intermingled, but due to the fact that we're talking about color, it's just very important for you to see what colors make you look at yourself like, wow, you look fabulous. And then what are the colors that are like, oh my God, I look sick. You will definitely get a reaction. So you don't even need to know color theory to know this. You will see how you react in the mirror when you wear certain colors. Well, if we're going to talk about color, let's talk about the color wheel. The color wheel is such a useful tool.
So let's start with green. Green is considered a pure color. And we're going to start with the pure color and turn it into a tinted green, which is adding white, which makes it lighter than the previous green, the pure color. When we add gray to a color, it becomes a tone, which is a little darker. And when we add black to a color, it becomes a shade of the color. And as you can see, adding black to the green makes it the darkest form of green that we can have.
I know I'm doing too much of a lesson on color, but I just want you to get the idea. So when people say that maybe orange doesn't suit them, like myself, sometimes you might have to try a tint of orange or a different, shade or tone. I should also note that gray really is a combination of black and white. and they're not considered colors on the color. So let's talk about those warm and cool colors. As you know, gray is it's actually not even a color at all, it's a shade. But the warm colors on the color wheel are your yellows, your oranges, and your reds. And the cool colors are considered the blues, the greens, and the violets. Okay, so let's talk about undertones. Undertones can be your warm undertone, which is more of the yellow hue of things, or you can have a cool undertone, which is more of a pinkish hue to your skin. Now you might see your veins as bluish under a cool undertone, and you might see your veins as greenish under a warm undertone. And of course, you also have those that are neutral. Now, just a personal note, I am definitely a warm undertone, but my hair and my skin have become cooler as I've aged. My hair was also warm, it was black, and as I've aged, I've noticed that, of course, you see the gray hairs coming, but I still have some black mixed in. In the summer, I tend to get a tan. I will be warm, and in the winter I'm cooler. So that I have to take into effect with not just my wardrobe, I also have to take that into consideration when I wear makeup. So these are some of the things you have to consider when you're, putting together your wardrobe. So let's face it, I understand that a lot of people aren't putting a lot of thought into their wardrobe right now due to COVID and the circumstances going on in the world. But this could be a good time when you do have time to experiment with your wardrobe. Look at Pinterest, look at other celebrities that have similar skin tones and shades of hair like you. It might be hard to find those that are gray haired, but you don't need celebrities. You could just look for regular people. I also want to note that just because a color doesn't look right on you doesn't mean you have to just give it up. Like I said earlier, you can try to experiment with other colors that can enhance the color in a positive light. We're going to talk about prints. I know that prints are not everybody's cup of tea. And believe me, I myself kind of veer away from it. I do have some prints that I like animal prints and some florals. But you also have to be careful that they're not too aging on you. Now that I have gray hair, I know that there's certain prints that do not compliment me because they make me look older than I am. As well as there are prints that make you look too young, and with the gray hair contrast with the print, it just doesn't mix well. So be mindful of your prints. And you know what? Like I said, keep exploring that wardrobe and experimenting, because that's the only way you'll really know if it works for you. And you know what? Another option with the colors that don't complement your skin color, you don't have to wear them at all. You can get rid of them. Donate the clothes, sell them, do whatever you need to do, and be mindful that those colors do not work for you, so you don't have to make any more mistakes. Now, one other thing I'd like to say about colors that you feel are too much for your complexion, you can also wear them in other ways. You can wear them as accessories, or you can wear them on the bottom half of your body. Or like I said before, you can incorporate other colors to help complement that color that doesn't suit you. So just again, it's all about experimenting. Well, hopefully you got the idea, and I'm sure you did. Now go and experiment in your closet, look on the internet, read some books and magazines, and figure it out for yourself. I mean, this should be one of the fun parts of the whole process. Now, I just want you to know that this was just maybe more of a theoretical explanation of the color with your gray hair. But hopefully, I'm going to do a couple more videos where I can tell you my personal side of things, and maybe even try some things on and, see why it doesn't work for me. And you'll get the hang of what I'm trying to say. I appreciate everyone watching me, and I would love to do more videos to help you live your best glam gray life. I am Glamorously Gray, and I hope you live your best gray life going forward. Have a good day and take care.